Profiles too, right?
We are live. Woo-hoo!
We are live.
Yes.
Woo!
Yes.
Awesome.
Live at 5.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's that time of the week again. It is Live at 5 Tuesday, and tonight we have with us the fabulous Daria from New York and Tikeja Wyatt, from Florida. And today we have our special guest, Marybeth Angioelelli from Ohio, and of course, Pat McKeon from New York City. The three of us, as your hosts, have been online for 10 years each, so we have a combined 30 years of experience, and we are really, really psyched to bring on with us a six-figure income earner in the online industry. Mary's going to share her tidbits with us. We're going to ask questions, and I think this is going to be a really awesome evening of learning. Make sure to bring out your notebooks and pens, and please take some notes. With that being said, take it away, Daria.
All right. So before we get started, we just want to say hello to our Facebook family. If you're jumping on, just hit #live. Let us know that you are here. Let us know that you can hear us. Make sure, like Pat said, that you have a pen, paper, something to write with. And while you are getting yourself settled, I am going to share my screen so we can get it going. So just give me
Awesome.
a second.
Tamika Smith, welcome to the call.
Welcome.
Let us know where you're dialing in from. #replay, #live, and let us know what city you're calling in from. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right. Can you put a 1 in the chat if you can see my screen? Ladies, let me know if
Awesome.
you can see the
Hearing
1.
you loud and clear.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
And they can see the screen. Perfect.
Yes.
All right. So we are about to get it started. So just know that action takers are money makers, and we're going to get on to our guests. So tonight, we will be talking with six-figure earner Marybeth Angioelelli, and I hope I pronounced your name correctly.
That's great.
All right, awesome. Marybeth currently lives in Ohio with her 2 children, her husband, and her beautiful German Shepherd, Benji. Now, if anyone that knows Marybeth, she loves her dog, and she takes magnificent pictures with her dog. They hang out together. You will see her with pictures of him or her. What is it? Or her, right?
It's a boy, Benji.
Okay. So you'll see pictures of him and her in her car, or just in the living room, chilling, or just out and about. So one thing you know that she loves dogs. She has been online since 2007, and she is going to share with her live her journey thus far. So don't walk away, because you might miss something. All right, and here she is with Benji, the famous Benji.
Yay, Benji! We love Benji.
All right. So I'm going to get started with the first question. So Marybeth, we see that you've been in the industry since 2007, which is a very long time. What has made you decide to get into the industry?
Yeah, what made me get into the industry back in 2007 really were my 2 small children at the time. I was working in marketing and finance in corporate America, and long hours, very demanding, stressful. My children were at home, and I was just missing out on a lot of important events within their life. And I just knew that there was a better way, so I turned to the internet, which was really becoming popular at the time, and I just started doing some random searches, like on keyword phrases like work from home-based business opportunities, and I started finding information. The more I searched, the more information I located, and I became very curious. So I just decided to expand my search and my horizons online, and started scouting around the internet to see if this was really real. So I fortunately started following some people that I seen, introducing different opportunities. I followed them for probably a couple of months. And then, one day I just decided this is it. I'm just going to take a, big leap of faith and hope and pray this works. And I gave it my all. I made the investment. And then as soon as I got started, thankfully, the opportunity had some good training. So at that particular time, where I put my emphasis and focus was on video marketing, on YouTube marketing. And it really was the best decision, that I made, because I realized that, I had to build a following, I had to build a brand, and I had to build that all-important know, like, and trust, and get exposure out there, and get my name out there, and, brand recognition and all that stuff. And so I turned to YouTube, and at that time, that was my primary platform. It was my primary focus, and that's where I placed my time, effort, energy, and training. And then what I did is I decided to start with one skill set, and I just mastered it. And that's what I would recommend anybody to do, is to start off with something that you are comfortable with, and hone in on one skill set, get really comfortable, really confident, and then just go out there and apply and implement the training from whatever system that you're involved with. And then just remain consistent. And that's exactly what I did. And then over time, I just started to build up a nice little following on YouTube. And then that's when things took off for me. I started having people reaching out to me. My phone started ringing. People started emailing me, inquiring. And then, from there, the rest is kind of, history. I was very determined to make it work. And I just persevered and just, got really good at it, and just started doing all types of videos. And then at that time, article marketing was really popular. So those were my two primary marketing methods. And since I had a marketing and finance background, I was familiar with copywriting and, writing and all of that. I did a lot of writing, throughout college and throughout my career. So I basically focused on the article marketing, going after certain keywords, writing marketing related articles pertaining to me and the opportunity I was involved with. And then I stayed focused on the video marketing. Did that for a while and continued to, build my businesses. And then I realized that there was kind of something missing. So then I was able to access more training. I went on the internet and looked at different, mentorship type of programs and that, and fortunately found a really good one about a year later. And at that particular time, the focus of that was on list building. So then what I decided to do at that point was to get, serious about funnel creation and list building, and I started to build an email list. And then I realized that that became a very valuable asset for me, because it allowed me to expand, and build a subscriber base and a following, so I could take my opportunities and my content out to an email list. And then that's when things really started to take off for me. I was able to scale up my business and get more into paid marketing. So one of the ways that I built my list at that time, and I'm still building my list, fast forward to the present day 2021, is through solo ads and clicks. Yeah. And so I'm still very much doing YouTube marketing, and that's been a very valuable skill. And I think irregardless of what what opportunity you're with, you have to first and foremost build a following. You have to be able to connect to people, and you have to be able to build that all important know, like, and trust, especially in a higher ticket program. Mm-hmm. So I'm still, very much doing the video marketing, still continuing to build my following here on YouTube, and also build my email list. And then I'm able to take my different opportunities, with me. And when something new comes across, then I can, reach out to my list and take, put value, incorporate, value and good content. And that's also very important too. You have to lead with value and good content. And then that way, that's kind of what separates you from the others, and it makes people really want to follow you, because people are very hungry to learn, the way and exactly, how to be successful online. So if you're able to provide, a value for free, as much value as possible, and always leading with value with your content inside of your emails and your videos, you're going to be so much better off for it. So what I have found has worked the best for me is free organic traffic. because that allows people to see you. It allows you to, build the all important know, like, and trust. So for me, it's been Facebook marketing and YouTube marketing. And back in 2015, because I had led the way with, building, my brand through videos, different type of video platforms and so forth, and then my email list. And then I added Facebook marketing. That's when I decided to add on something else to really specialize in. And that was the very beginning of 2015, came on Facebook, accessed some really good training with regards to Facebook marketing. And then I just combined the Facebook with the video, and then I'm always building my list. And those have been my three pretty much go-to methods that have worked out the absolute best for me to continue to scale up my businesses and be able to, work from home and earn a full-time income from home with whatever opportunities I choose to get involved with.
That's excellent.
Wow. You have said a mouthful.
Yeah.
I mean, from the beginning all the way to the end. So I hope everyone is taking notes. Make sure that you understand the know, like, and trust factor. Know that you have to start with somewhere. Something that you said was important. Starting where you're comfortable. That is so important. If it's video marketing, start with that. If you write articles, if you write well, start with that. That is so important. And she wasn't all over the place. She started with one strategy and then moved on to another, and so on and so forth. Right? She wasn't building a list right away, but now she is,
Yeah, it took me about 2 years to really realize that I needed, something more. And in 2009 is when I started to build, my email list. It was 2009. And then I started getting more serious about building and having funnels built, the capture pages and the sales pages, and kind of infusing my own brand and personality into the capture pages, where I would, incorporate videos into like the sales pages, put pictures of me and my family into it. And that's very important too, because people have to, kind of see, you kind of have to bring people into your lifestyle. And so that they can kind of see who you are, get to know who you are, get comfortable with you. And consistency is very important too. Whatever methods you decide to run with, you have to just stick with them, and you have to treat the business, like a real business, and showing up every single day. I mean, in the very beginning, I was doing this 7 days a week. That's also very important. Even when the weekends came, I still did a little wee bit, on Saturdays and Sundays, but I got really serious and treated this type of, home-based business like a job. So Monday through Friday, those were my, work days. And I would, get up early in the morning, get started, and then take breaks. And I was always developing content and always putting, new, fresh, value-based content out there, with regards to articles. And I was, tweaking my articles, my emails, and I was doing a lot of writing, and then I was doing videos. And then, once I started, reaching a certain, area in my businesses where I was consistently earning, then I started to reinvest back into business with paid traffic. And then over time, I just scaled up with that and grew my email list, which I'm still very much, doing to, in the present day.
Yeah, that's very important. And you said something that was really key: being consistent. Knowing what your hours are, Monday through Friday, getting up early, and it takes time. This didn't just happen overnight for her. So if you find that you're just getting into the industry and you're not having the success you're looking for, don't compare yourself to someone's 20 years, to your one. You're not going to have the same results, but just keep at it. She's stuck in there. She's very consistent. And then today, she's still doing what needs to be done. She's doing her income producing activities. Okay? So that was awesome. That was really awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, and one other thing too is you have to be willing to invest in yourself. So over the years, I've invested, quite a bit of money and time into training. And I'm still very much doing that. Within this industry, things are always changing. So you always have to stay, ahead of the game, stay current, with the state-of-the-art technology, with different marketing methods, because algorithms are always changing, and different methodologies are changing and so forth. So you have to be willing to invest, in training, and that's what I've always done along the way. I've invested in different training programs, systems, mentorship programs, and in the very beginning, I basically did this late into the evening. So it was a lot of, stay up late, work late. Once my family was, in bed, where I can come into my office, into my quiet space and place, and go through, training modules. And I would go on, I would listen to them, I would take notes, and then I would make sure, sometimes I had to watch them 2 and 3 times, because a lot of them were very in-depth and had a lot of information. And once I got really, comfortable and confident, then I would just go out and apply and implement it. And then I would start seeing, small results, and then that just really motivated me more. I got really excited, because I was focusing on getting my lead flow, and then the more leads I would collect, then I would start to get, signups, and, my earnings would increase. And then that would just, keep me going. And then I would always obviously stay motivated and focused. And then I was always, committing to time and to training and into scaling up and spending more money on traffic. So I turned to the internet.
That is the way to go. We thank you so much for sharing that. I hope you guys realize that, like I said before, it takes time. You have to go through training. You have to invest in yourself. That's very important. And even more importantly, you take notes and implement what you learn. That is so important. Is in so many cases, people take training after training, but no implementation. And she's a very good example of that. Thank you so much, Marybeth, for sharing that with us.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Let's give Marybeth some love. Let's see some hearts up here. Let's smash that love button.
If you're getting put a one in the chat, if you're getting some great information today, guys, go ahead and put a one in the chat for us. We really appreciate you guys being on, and we hope that you guys are receiving great value from this training.
But yeah, it's not difficult. It really, it is a journey, it is a process, but as long as, you just stay focused and committed and consistent to what you're doing, and always be willing to have an open mind, and willing to continue to learn. And that kind of like learn while you earn type of platform. You really you can really start to create your own economy, and experience the time freedom and all the freedoms that come with having your own home-based business.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yes,
absolutely.
Well, there you have it, guys. This is just the beginning, and this is already filled with golden nuggets. So you should be writing your hands off.
Yes,
we got notes here. We got notes here. Everybody take notes.
That's right, because oh my God,
when you take notes, actually, you can use those notes to produce your own content.
That's right.
Exactly, Ken. That's what I have done too. That's exactly right. That gave me ideas, like various types of training modules that I've learned. That I've basically, gone through over the years. I would take notes, and then I would create my own value-based training off of that, with video marketing. And I would be able to create training for my team members in different opportunities, which gave me more value. And then, the more valuable you come, the more knowledge you acquire, you are able to develop, a better, stronger skill set. And then you have more value in the marketplace. And when that starts to happen over time, then of course, your earnings increase with that too.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
And now we have tea.
Oh, yes.
Tea's next,
so we want
right?
to find out. So what's your favorite part?
Uh-oh.
Oh, my favorite.
Oh,
what's your favorite? I know her question.
Oh, there she go.
There you go.
Just
okay,
like
I know your question.
Hey, we missed you, Mama.
Get it, Marybeth. So what's your favorite thing about being an online leader? What if you had to say one thing is your favorite thing about being an online leader, what would it be?
I like to be able to pass on like the knowledge and the skills to others, and helping other people to succeed. That's what really, inspires me to keep going, because I knew what it took to get me to where I want to go, and I just want to be able to help other people. Because right now, especially with what's going on out there, globally, there's just so many people in need, and I hear so many like heart-wrenching stories over the past, year or so when this pandemic hit. A lot of people have just been struggling, and they come online and they're very desperate, and they're starting from scratch like what I did. So, I tried to basically shortcut everybody's learning curve and kind of, help people and show, explain to them step by step exactly, where I started and kind of what they need to do to be able to start to, build a business online and start to see some results in the shortest amount of time.
Absolutely. Because that's definitely what people are looking for when they come online.
And then they need training. They need the right training. They need to learn, the right way. Because there's a lot of hype out there, as you probably know, and there's a lot of people that are kind of falsifying and misrepresenting, certain things about, what it takes to actually, make a full-time income online. So it's important that they, get the facts, they get the truth, and they know exactly what to do the right way.
Precisely. And I think that is one of the challenges online, because there are so many different things online. So you do wonder, what's hype and what's really working. So when you first got started, what were some of the challenges that you faced?
Some of the challenges, probably, well, obviously, lead flow, till I really, it's kind of till I really mastered, because I mean, even though I came from like a marketing background, corporate America, the marketing there was different than what was online. Because there wasn't like, the video marketing. So some of the challenges, I just had to really stay focused, motivated, and just, being consistent, just really understanding the consistency was, extremely important. And just keep going, just staying focused and, keep going.
Absolutely. Consistency.
Because obviously, like when you are new, every day is not going to be, a winning day. You're going to have your ups and downs, and then you meet all kinds of people, and you're going to have those probably like to, address your question a little bit more specifically, like negativity, overcoming negativity, naysayers, people who would come on my videos. I'd have people that would write negative comments. Kind of overcoming that. I'm thinking, who are these people, and why, like, because you kind of feel like you're under like personal attack, sometimes.
Right. So how did you become that? Can you tell us that?
Again, I just kind of reverted back to my why. I came online for my children. I knew, that there was a better way. So that's what kept me going. That's why I didn't quit. That's why, because a lot of people, give up way too fast. But I was already seeing results. And my marketing was working, and I just knew, I had to just kind of, tune out all that negativity. And another thing is back in like 2010, 2011, there were these people that would come online and they would start flagging videos. And I had there were intervals where I had my whole channels that would just come down, and I would have to start from scratch. So doing what it takes to, what you need to do, overcoming those type of things, and be willing and able to start from scratch when you need to.
Absolutely. And did you guys hear what she said? When you are there and you feel like you can't go on, hold on to your why.
That's very important. If your why is strong enough, if you're, here for the right reasons, and if your why is strong enough, you can overcome any hurdles, obstacles, challenges, that you can. Because I had been seeing results. I knew that I wasn't going to let, people get the best of me.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. If you're determined to win, you guys, if you are determined to win, nobody can stop you. Nobody can make you quit. Nobody can stand in your way. The only way to the other side is through. You can't go around, right? You're going to have some hurdles, but hurdles are meant for you to be gone through. So that's why we do these things, right? So that you guys can see that none of us are superhuman. you know, and it's not something that's a magic trick. You know, we're not performing magic or anything like that. We're just completing the same simple step, right? We found what works and we stick to it. And no matter what anybody says, we're not going anywhere. Right? We're like concrete. We're cemented here. We're going here.
And in the end, you know, I realized that it makes you a stronger person. It really does.
Yes,
I mean,
it toughens up your skin.
It kind of like it builds, you know, like your resilience. It makes you a more resilient, you know, person.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
that's for sure.
Yes.
And I just, you know, it just made me a stronger person. You know, the more people would, you know, come and, you know, post these comments and flag my videos and try to bring down my entire channels. I mean, I would just keep coming back. You know, I think stronger and stronger, and they would see that, and you know, it just. I was able to, you know, overcome that, and it just gave me a really good feeling.
You go, girl. You guys put a 1 in the chat. You guys are receiving value. Put a 1 in the chat, guys. Give this lady some love. That's what I'm talking about.
Smash that love button.
Quit.
Give her some love.
Smash that love button.
Pat, take it away.
Well, you know, first I just want to say, Mary, you're such a delight, and you know, you have such a plethora of experience behind you, and you continue to share. And I've watched you grow online. We're the 4 of us actually have been involved in same businesses, so it's been a real pleasure, and we've gotten to know you a bit more.
You.
So thank you for accepting. Thank you for accepting our invitation here tonight. And guys and girls that are watching live and on the replay, really do take notes, because what Marybeth is sharing here tonight could actually alter the way you do business and brand yourself. My question, Mary, is, okay, here's the scenario. You have just lost everything on your business. You just lost everything. You lost your email list. You lost, you know, which is the big asset, right? So you've lost everything, but you have your iPhone and you have a computer, and internet is running fast. But you only have 30 days to build your business back up. Can you tell our audience what you would do first, second, and third to build you and your business back up within that 30-day period?
Well, I would definitely, you know, keep my online presence. For example, even if something were to happen to my YouTube channel or my videos, I would just come back and I would be, you know, doing videos every single day. Probably more than one video. I would probably, you know, do one video, probably at least 2 videos. I'd probably do something in the morning, something in the evening, maybe fit something in the afternoon. So I would just increase my content through video marketing, you know, Facebook. I would definitely, you know, continue onward and upward with my Facebook, and, you know, through my timeline. And still, you know, even if I didn't have my audience on Facebook, I would just start from scratch. So I would take, you know, what was working for me, and I would just start over and rebuild from scratch. You know, which would be the YouTube, and I would just, you know, increase the content, and obviously be willing to put forth the time and the effort and the long hours to get back up to build myself back up again. And if my email list was wiped out, obviously, for whatever reason, I would probably switch to a different provider and just start that from scratch again. You know, I would just go out there, you know, do my, you know, free organic methods to get the leads coming in there, increase that, and then I would just go out there and start buying, you know, as much traffic as I could to keep the leads coming back in and flowing.
Got it. So basically, for the person who is starting out that doesn't have a budget, you're saying if you had to start this all over again, what I'm hearing you, Mary, say is you would definitely do at least a morning and evening video on the free
YouTube channel. I would have to get my content ramped up as quickly as possible in that 30-day, because I'd be up against a time crunch. So
30 days.
One video
a day, once a day video.
Yeah, one video a day wouldn't suffice. I'd have to really, you know, scale up my content fast.
Okay.
So I would have to put forth, you know, the time and the effort into it. And if that meant longer hours, you know, but I would definitely do at least a minimum of 2 videos a day.
2 videos a day to start out. Okay, very good. Increase the content. And how many hours do you think that would necessitate? Like, would it be more like 10 hours, or could you do this? Can you do this in 30 days, 8 hours a day?
Oh, once you really, build this, the skill set up, it doesn't take, like a full-time job. It doesn't take anywhere near, 8 hours a day. I would say you could probably effectively, if you're working, efficiently, 90 minutes a day of good marketing should do it.
Mm.
Wow, that's awesome. Very good. Very good
things,
to know that.
Things, happen like, once you get really good at it, you know what you're doing, and you can really significantly reduce the the time that you're doing your marketing.
That's awesome. Okay, so I really like that video marketing, increasing the content, and then going back to, of course, our free platform of Facebook, providing content, and then and only then, after all that brought you back up and up and up, and more people coming to you, only then would you consider doing, let's say, solo ads, correct?
Right. Yeah, I would say, for people just starting off, you obviously have to get yourself into profit mode, and
Right.
you have to. Everybody's budget's going to be different, and I don't recommend anybody, going into debt to try to build your business. Just work with what you can, with the resources that you have, and if you have more time than money, obviously you're going to be spending, more, you're going to be putting more labor, more, hours into it than you are, your budget. But then once you have that budget, then you can scale up faster.
Right.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I really think that's it. It's 5:34 p.m. right now. We are running a bit late, but I think that'll be okay with everyone. Yes. Give us a 1 in the chat if you want to ask any questions.
Yeah. If you have a question, yes, please. It takes a few minutes. It's a delay. So.
And I'm online as well.
Yeah.
All right. I'm actually answering.
All right. Tamika has a question. Go ahead, Tamika. I'm online. I can see you.
Well, she did say that she loves the info here. Some of the comments, amazing interviews. So, Marybeth, you are a hit in our community.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. Getting really good vibes here. So again, yes, just going through the comments here. Very good vibes, great info.
Wonderful.
Does anybody have a question for Marybeth? Anybody? If you do, just type it here in the chat and we will be able to see it. Okay, so Tamika says,
all right, no question.
No, she says she has no questions. She's very grateful. Yeah, she gave us the roadmap from beginning to end.
Absolutely.
And just know that it takes hard work. It takes consistency.
It does, but it gets easier though as you go, because one of my biggest challenges too starting off was the content. Coming up with good content. But then once you go through like a lot of training and you see like what others are doing, you get ideas, from other people, and you start following other people, then that just becomes second nature, and it just becomes really easy. And then it significantly reduces the time that you spend on your like daily method of operations.
Right.
Mary, actually that leads me to my last question. How much time do you spend per day now that you are at an accomplished level?
Yeah, well, like I said, I do at least Monday through Friday. I spend probably around 90 minutes on content creation and marketing. That's between like Facebook and YouTube, and emails. Responding back to people, and that varies a little bit too, because some days, I do use my regular contact information, like my phone and that. So I have people, throughout the day and evening texting me, calling me. So I never can really say how much time I'm going to spend, with the follow-ups. When people call or want more information, leave me a voice message. I do spend time engaging with, prospects and so forth. So that varies a little bit. Maybe I'm on the phone an hour. I mean, some days 2 hours. It kind of like, varies. Yeah. But content-wise, about 90 minutes. I'm always tweaking my emails, going into like my follow-up email series, sending out a personal broadcast or two a day, writing content for my emails, and then always looking and split testing, what like my follow-ups from that, and then always, working on like building, and creating like graphics and images and thumbnails for my videos, and then coming up with content for that. So I would say my Monday through Friday, 90 minutes marketing, and then the rest varies just based on prospects and, responding back to text messages, emails, and voicemails, and taking calls.
Okay, so it sounds like to me
but it's very part-time. I mean,
it is sounds about part-time.
Yeah, you can basically take like an 8 to 10 hour workday out there, in the real world, and cut it down to a 4-hour day.
It's wonderful, wonderful.
So I would say, to be safe, Pat, about 4 hours a day.
I was going to say that's very part-time, very doable for even the beginner, and very doable even if you are working a 9 to 5, because you might get up early and do that video in the morning, right? And at lunchtime,
I would say somebody just starting out needs 1 to 2 hours a day, realistically, to make this happen.
Right, to build up their content. Right, they could do a video in the morning, they could do a video at lunchtime, and start to see it accumulating.
Right.
But very good, ladies. Anything else you want to add?
I just want to say thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thanks for having me. I really enjoyed the experience.
Yes, I'm going to go ahead and ask one more question, because this is a question that a lot of people want to know. How do you balance your work life, since you work at home and you're always at home? How do you balance that?
How do I? This is like my home office. So it's basically converted like a bedroom into like a home office. So I just do what I have to. I just come in here, close the door, and my 2 children, are grown now, so they're not around very much. So it makes it easier.
A lot easier, yeah.
But yeah, basically what I did is I have a dedicated workspace.
Yes. Wonderful. That's what I wanted to know.
So once you walk into that space, you're in work mode, and that's it.
That's
it.
I
close the door. I close the door and do what I have to, and just focus.
Benji's not happy. What'd you have to say, Pat?
Does Benji bother you when you're in that, or does he know that there's no treats coming out of that room?
Now, so it helps. Yeah, he's over. He's actually 10 years old.
I love him.
So he has his own place downstairs.
Right, so he doesn't disturb your workspace.
Yeah, so yeah.
The deal.
Okay. Well, again, thank you so much, Marybeth. This was really eye-opening. Thanks for sharing your golden nuggets.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Thank you.
And team,
indeed,
thank you for being here. Hope you got a lot of value. Please go visit Marybeth Angioelelli, Angioelletti, right?
L-E-L-L-I, yes, Pat.
So go check her out on Facebook, give her some love. And with that, ladies, take it away.
Next Tuesday, guys, live at 5.
We'll see you next Tuesday, live at 5.
Until next time.
guys.
All right.
Bye, Mary. Thank you.
Thank you.